Hey you guys, I'm here in Berryville, Virginia at the Northern Virginia Reptile Expo, and we're going to be asking every vendor here, what is the coolest animal on your table? And by the way, if you want this shirt right here, the link is in the description.
How you doing? I'm Brian, Snake Den USA, Exotic Reptiles.
Very cool.
This is the Berryville show, Northern Virginia, and this is a Cypress lesser clown. So it's a beautiful snake, female, and Cypress is just a great gene. It brings everything out, color-wise.
So it changes the color, or is it like an enhancer?
It's an enhancer.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, it's about 6 months old.
Nice, has some good size on it for 6 months. That's a beautiful snake.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely.
I have another one at home. And then these, I just think these are cool. They're Kenyan sand boas, anery stripe.
They're actually awesome looking too.
But they're like some of the smallest boas.
Are they born just like normal boas,
Yep.
or they just pop out the mom?
Yep, they come out of the mother. You go in there one morning and there they are crawling around.
Oh, that's super cool.
But they're pretty cool. They only get about a foot, sometimes maybe 16 inches, and they get a little bit chubbier.
This may sound like a dumb question, but I know names can be deceiving. Do you keep them on sand?
No, you probably could. I keep them on like ground up pine chips.
Okay, so they burrow in it, right?
Yeah, they like to burrow.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, when you open a container and look at them, you can just see their eyes peeping through the substrate. They're awesome. Waiting for food or whatever.
Oh, that's super cool.
Ambush hunters.
That's cool.
But yeah.
I think these are underrated pets.
Oh yeah, I just think they're cool because
awesome.
They stay small and they're not mean at all. They're easy. They eat good like any boa.
Oh, that's good. So they have no problems feeding?
None.
That's awesome. Absolutely beautiful.
So that's what I got today. It's
very
different.
Cool. Yeah, that's all. It is different. Where can we find you online, Brian?
Snake on Instagram. Instagram is Snake Den USA, and then I have Facebook, same thing, Snake Den USA.
All right, for sure. We'll link all that in the description. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here with Kayla from EKG Exotics. Kayla, what's the coolest animal on your table today?
So I really like this little guy. I'll put him in the light for you. He is a super conda western hognose, and he is het exanthic and possibly het snow. Look at his little tail curl up.
Yeah.
I really like the super conda. He's nice and clean. Doesn't have any pattern on him. Real cool little belly. Look how flat he's getting.
Yeah, is that like a defensive behavior?
It is, yeah.
That's awesome.
He's actually a really defensive little hognose too. If I didn't have gloves on, he'd probably bite me, which is also a reason why I like him a lot, because I like it when hognose have big personality, and if he's going to bite me, he's going to bite his food. So
Fair.
He's definitely going to eat. He's a great eater, and he's a lot of fun.
I know with like pythons, they bite because of heat. Would he be biting you without the gloves because of texture of your skin?
Yeah, because he thinks it's food. He thinks my hands are mice. Yeah, not all of them do that, but he's notorious for it. There's some. It's just like he thinks my hand is a mouse.
Do you think it's the texture, or do you think it's because you feed him with your hand?
So I think it's probably the texture, but he sees me and he knows that I'm coming with food.
Yeah.
I think it probably is more of the texture because I use tongs a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't really hand feed him like that. I think he's just does that. I mean, some hognose are like that. Some hognose try to eat fingers.
That makes them really cool.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And his sister is pretty cool. This is his sister. You can see she's a really good eater. She's already got a lot of size on her.
How old is she?
She was born in November of 24.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a conda. So she's got this really neat pattern for a conda. It's like very diffused instead of blocky.
So conda is like spots, right?
Yeah, so a conda basically means that it is a reduced pattern. So I'll show you this guy. This is a normal of the same clutch. So you can see how he's got pattern all over his sides and all over his back. Everywhere he's got a lot of pattern. And she's got a way less of a, she's got much reduced pattern on. And also, condas get these white stripes down the sides of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right down here is all white. Whereas these have little notches of pattern in their side walls. They're a lot of fun. So these
Very
are all
cool, yeah.
siblings. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like, I'll show you all three at one time because it's like levels of conda.
Yeah. It's crazy the diversity you can get in just one clutch.
Yeah. It's a, yeah. So this is a normal, a conda, and a super conda. So the normal doesn't have any conda gene.
Right.
She has one copy of the conda gene, and he has two copies of it.
It's crazy how the two copies just wipes out everything.
Yep.
It just gets gradually more reduced.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It is. It's really cool. It's a cool gene. You can get so much variation in your clutches because of it. And there's a lot of variation with the conda gene itself. Oh, look, they lock tails. This is actually also a conda, but his pattern is way different than hers. Like, his is a lot more defined, and hers is really blown out and diffused.
Are there any other genes that play?
I think he might have some Arctic in him. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might because he does have some like lighter coloring around his patches, and the Arctic can kind of have this sort of tiger stripe look to it. So I think he might. I'm not completely sure yet. It's easier to tell as they grow; they get more and more contrast.
All right, so you know I want to see this centipede.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been super obsessed with these centipedes recently. Is there a common name for those?
Hey Eli, what's the Eli? What's a common name? Do you know?
Thai yellow leg.
Thai yellow leg. Okay.
That's super cool.
Thai yellow leg. Yeah, it's a Dahani is the Scolopendra Dahani.
Okay.
They are gnarly. They will bite you if you are not careful.
And they're venomous, of course.
They are absolutely venomous. If you get bit, I mean, you probably won't die from it, but it will absolutely ruin your probably a month at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is it? What are the symptoms?
Just being like sick, illness, like stomach upset, muscle spasms. Yeah,
It sounds horrible.
It is. It's horrible. Yeah, you don't want to get bit by one of these. And a lot of people who keep centipedes get bit by them. I think it's kind of like part of the centipede hobby.
Yeah, anything you keep as a pet might eventually bite you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
We don't hold them at all. We're really careful with them. When we rehouse them, we do it on like the kitchen floor because they can't get a good grip on the floor, so it kind of slows them down. Because they will escape. They basically use their body as a ladder to climb out of whatever they're in. So
I've seen them go like straight up in the air and grab prey and stuff.
Yes.
That's insane.
They can stand up all the way up.
That's crazy.
And they'll eat pretty much anything you put in there. Like even if you give them a frozen thawed pinky mouse, they'll eat that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is their main diet?
We usually just feed crickets and roaches. Is
Okay,
what we
that makes sense.
feed. Yeah.
For sure.
They're not picky eaters though.
That's cool.
I am mostly on Instagram, EKG Exotics on Instagram, and then I have a Facebook page too, but I'm not super active on it. But I do post most of the shows that we're pending on there, and I'm on Morph Market.
Cool. All right. So we will link all that in the description. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, I'm here with Brandon from Rock Creek Corns, and he has a very beautiful snake out. Brandon, tell us about this.
This is Barney. Barney is 4 years old. He is a very unique snake in that he is an orchid, which is a combination of the morphs sun-kissed and lavender. But he's heterozygous for amel, but in these rare occasions, it's called a paradox, you have a recessive trait that shows up visually. And that's what's happening with Barney. He should have no orange on him, but you can see he has this really cool orange pattern showing up. Never seen another snake like him.
That's absolutely beautiful. So what are his genetics again?
So he is lavender, and you can see if you look closely, you can see kind of the purple color.
Absolutely, yeah.
And sun-kissed, which brings out this sort of peachy orange undertone.
Yeah.
And he's het for amel.
And that's what's bringing out the orange.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing on top. When he was a baby, he looked like this. That's another orchid.
And then he changed to this?
Yes.
Could we see him under the light here real quick?
Yep, sure.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's crazy.
He had one little orange dot on his head, and then every time he shed, it was more and more orange.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, so paradoxes happen once in a few million, and I've never seen one happen for an orchid before. So it really is striking.
Yeah, it really is. That's absolutely
So that's a baby orchid right there.
Wow. And he looked exactly like that as a baby.
Yes.
That is insane.
He is actually that one's dad.
Wow.
His dad.
Wow, I'd be holding back all his babies, man. Someone's going to get a deal here.
Yeah.
That's absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. How can we find you guys online?
Yeah, we're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We sell on Morph Market.
Okay.
So look for Rock Creek Corns.
Absolutely. I'll link all that in the description for you as well.
All right, great. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you so much. So I'm here with Christian Morgan from K&M Reptiles.
How you doing?
Very well. So Christian, what is the coolest animal you have on your table today?
Probably the green tree python, right here. It's probably one of my favorites.
And you were saying you hatched these, correct?
Yes, hatched these in 2022.
That's awesome. It's hard for people to breed chondros a lot of times. What did you find that helped you to have success?
Patience, lots of patience, and I follow the outside weather.
Oh, you do? Of their native country?
Outside weather of just where we're at now.
Okay.
So, and I use a lot of natural sunlight. A lot of natural sunlight comes into my room, and that really helps me, I believe, with production.
Okay, so light cycling?
Light cycling.
Following the weather outside?
Following the weather outside, exactly.
So you breed them during the summer?
I've had them breed in the summer and the winter.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very cool.
So you have to figure out, usually you figure out for each one when they're going to go. And that's usually the time they'll go every year.
That's cool.
Once you figure them out.
Very cool. So what locality did you say this was?
This is a Luray and a Sarong cross.
Okay.
So it's a high mountain, a highland locality with the western Sarong locality.
Very cool. I love the blue striping on it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
How old is this animal, would you say?
This animal is about just turned 2 years old.
Okay. Do you like to let them grow up and see what they look like before you get rid of them?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
I got you. So you're holding back some cool stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
That hold backs is where it's at. And
yeah.
plus, some chondros are slow starters. You know, it you want to be sure before you let that animal go.
Yeah, you don't want anyone to have trouble feeding it.
Exactly. Right? Not unless it's going to someone, another experienced keeper, you know.
Absolutely. What else do you breed here? I see you have some really cool stuff.
Oh, we breed some really nice boas. We have some kale and some sharp line boas. Hypo jungle is mostly the traits.
Cool.
And then we have some hognose we've been working with too.
Very cool. And you were saying the easiest place to find you is Facebook, correct?
Yes, Facebook.
Okay, what's your Facebook name?
It's Christian Hall.
Okay, Christian Hall.
Christian Hall, straight up.
Very cool. All right, well, thank you so much, Christian.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. All right, you guys. So I'm here with Ari and Jesse from Arachnids Anonymous. What is the coolest animal on your table today, guys?
For the New Worlds, I'm going to go with the Grammostola pulchra female. They are considered the black lab of tarantulas. They're very sweet, very calm. What you see is what you get, and they're always out on display.
Absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Are these a New World?
They are a New World. Their defense is their urticating hairs that they can flick off. But they're much more likely just to go run and hide, just like she just did.
Yeah.
They're big scaredy cats.
Yeah, she doesn't want anything to do with you.
Right.
No. We're annoying her right now. Stay in, girlie. Oh, you're going to come out? Okay, that's fine.
Cool bonus handling footage from Jesse. Very cool.
She didn't like that.
Yeah, I see the butt was up in the air. Yeah.
She was like, ew, get off of me.
Is that a defense mechanism? Does that mean the hairs are about to be flicked? Or no?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes when they stick their butt up in the air, it's get away from me or I will flick these at you.
Right.
But no, she's very sweet.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're misunderstood. They are much more scared of you than you are of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think all tarantulas are really misunderstood.
They are.
Okay, we're good to go.
This is Cereopagopus, I think. I don't know. It's Bachma. It's Asian fossorial.
The body shape is really weird.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They got that beautiful patterning on them.
I would call them elegant. The way that they're all elongated like that is very cool, actually.
Yeah, they're a really fun, cool species. This one in particular likes to be out all the time. I don't know why. And you can see it just doesn't care.
Yeah.
I regularly, when I feed it, I have to touch it to be like, "Hey, are you still
wake up?
You still there, bro?" But yeah, they are really, really pretty with those tans and blacks.
Yeah.
And they get pretty decent size too. I think they get like around 6 inches. They
Cool.
get good size on them.
Their abdomen looks like abs, like an 8-pack abs or something.
Yeah, it's got a really interesting like tiger kind of pattern on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are an earth tiger, Asian, species.
So old world, right?
Old world. Yep.
Everything in Asia is old world, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so they have long hairs, but they don't flick them at all.
So they do. Yeah, they have the sete. But they use their sete more as feeling sete. They use it for feeling their environment around them, barometric pressure, changes in like the air temperature and stuff like that.
Oh, so they're like whiskers almost.
Exactly. They use them as sensory organs, essentially. The New Worlds have them too. They just have developed those hairs on their rear to be urticating, to kick off, to annoy as their defense. These guys don't have to do that, but they still rely on those hairs to basically their entire surrounding. Their eyesight's pretty poor.
Yeah.
So they rely on those hairs to feel everything, like micro vibrations and like the air and stuff.
That makes sense that they would develop a mechanism to deal with that poor eyesight.
They have some that even have developed the ability to rub their shells together and create sounds. They can create whistling noises. There's some New World species that will actually flick hairs off their shells.
Really?
That's where they have them.
Wow.
On their shells. They're just another cool tarantula.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. You guys have some really cool stuff.
And we try and keep up to date. Everything here is captive bred. We have a zero wild caught policy, and we do a lot with tarantula sustainment.
Do you have wild caught breeders?
We have some breeders that are wild caught that we have purchased.
But you're just selling the captive bred babies.
We are selling actually the first sack that come out of them, we don't even sell. Those go
You just
off,
hold them back and they become your breeders.
They go off to breeders around the United States, so that because those are captive born. So now that will create the captive breeding programs for us around the United States to be able to offer the spiders at a normal price. Not, you don't have to sell a kidney to get a spider. But
that's amazing. You're starting a whole wave. That's really cool.
We're hoping. So we're working with a lot of breeders around the United States, and that's about the only thing we do is if it's a wild caught, like very rare specimen that we want to start a captive bred breeding program. That's when we'll buy, and even then, when we buy them wild caught, we buy them from very, very trusted sources where we know the imports, where they're coming in from, and stuff like that. We're not just going to a show and picking up a wild caught spider.
Right, for sure. What types of problems could people run into just picking up wild caught spiders?
So you're looking at parasites, nematodes.
What are nematodes?
So nematodes it's basically a little parasite that goes around their mouth area, and it essentially basically sucks them dry.
Okay.
And kills them.
Yeah.
You can get parasitic mites, which will crawl inside them and literally eat them from the inside out.
Wow.
Yeah, and that will go through your entire collection very fast.
Yeah, I bet.
And very hard to deal with because you can't use a lot of traditional pesticides and stuff that you would use with reptiles, like you use the reptile spray.
Because they'll kill the spider.
It'll affect the spider. So you have to. That's one of the reasons why we push for captive bred so much in the actual hobby itself, because it's safer for the spiders. They've also noticed that the spiders do better in captivity when they're already captive bred.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
Versus when they're wild caught.
Yeah.
It can take months for a wild caught spider to actually start to adjust and feed and eat. We had one that hid in the corner for 6 months and basically just hid face down.
Wow.
Until it was, ready to start coming out and getting comfortable and learning, because they do pick up. They're actually a lot smarter than people think. They'll pick up your habits and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
And
Very
not
cool.
to mention how detrimental it is to the environment to take them from their natural environment. They all have a purpose in the ecosystem. So when you start poaching them, it's disrupting the whole ecosystem and affecting the wildlife all the way down to the plants, because they're eating the bugs that can kill the plants in that natural ecosystem. So sustainment really is the goal. Of course, we all want to enjoy the hobby, and we all want tarantulas. Yeah, exactly. Tarantulas at an affordable price, but we have to do it responsibly.
Teach responsible husbandry, responsible care.
Yeah.
So
where's the best place to find you guys online?
So a couple places. You can go to our website, which is arachnidsanonymous.com. We have a page on Facebook, which is Arachnids Anonymous AA. You can get there either from our website or by searching on Facebook. We have a group which is called the Arachnids Anonymous Meeting, I believe. And then we just started a brand new Discord, which is called the Tarantula Plug. Lots of educational channels on there. We have first egg sac registry on there for people that are breeding. We have verified breeders, verified vendors. We have a spot for reptile shows, podcasts. We do live broadcasts, breeding tarantulas on there around the United States with different breeders. So we're really trying to change the community and build this new community that we're hoping is going to be much more captive bred focused and much more, these are not just, an insect. These are a living animal, and much more focused on the actual tarantulas and the care and husbandry, so that we're taking proper care of these species and preserving them going forward into the future.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And I actually picked up some slings from Ari and Jesse, you guys. So look forward to seeing those in the future video as well.
Yeah, got some good ones too. We got some really nice, cool, fun stuff.
Yeah, they have some awesome stuff, you guys.
Yep.
So definitely check them out. We've linked all their stuff in the description.
We do offer free show pickup at any show that we attend. If you are in the DMV area, so Northern Virginia, Maryland, even a little bit into Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, we do local pickup and stuff. So we're always happy to meet up with you and, drop stuff off. Always, you can reach out to us with any questions about husbandry or care. We're always happy to help. Most important thing is the spiders.
Absolutely. I'll definitely be reaching out to you for husbandry and care too. So
oh yeah,
look forward to that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you all set up.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
You guys are awesome. All right, you guys, I'm here with Ed from Morphs. Ed, what's the coolest animal you have on your table today?
That's a hard one, but I'm going to go with the Egyptian diadem rat snake. It's a really cool snake. Basically, you don't see them too often, at least healthy. So a lot of the times these guys are wild caught. So this one's actually captive born. I got it from a vendor a year ago that had actually gotten I think they're live born. They might be. I don't know. They basically they hadn't even eaten. They haven't had their first shed, and I got one, and then I raised it up for about a year. And I'm thinking about moving on from the project and working on the royal diadems. So I do have a adult male royal diadem, and I need a regular female royal diadem, so not the Egyptian. But they're really, really interesting and cool snakes.
And they're literally native to Egypt?
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, I can't think of another snake that's non-venomous that's native to Egypt. That's insane. Their faces are very distinct, too.
They're really cool faces.
That's such a cool animal. Thanks so much, Ed.
Yeah, man.
Where can we find you online?
So actually, I run the Hershey Reptile Expo and the Lehigh Reptile Expo. So you can find me on reptifestexpos.com, or you can find me at mazmorphs.com.
All right, for sure. And I'll link your website, of course, mazmorphs.com, and your morph market, too. I'll link all that in the description.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ed. All right, you guys, so that wraps it up for the Berryville Expo. Let us know in the comments what you think the coolest animal was. Shout out to Arachnids Anonymous. I got some really cool slings from them. And stay tuned for the next video. You guys take care.